tithes and contributions enable us to continue to be a blessing to the community and around the world. Now sit back and listen to our senior pastor, Roger Bradley, or one of our other pastors or speakers bring a message of hope and healing. Let's prepare our hearts for this time of worship led by Church on the Rock's very own anointed worship team. God bless.
Good morning, Church on the Rock. If y'all would stand and worship with us this morning. There is coming a day when no heartache shall come, no more clouds in the sky, no more tears to dim the eye. All is peace forevermore with that happy golden shore. What a day, glorious day that will be. Sing, what a day, church. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand, leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. There'll be no more sorrow. There'll be no sorrows there. No more burdens to bear. No more sickness and no more pain. No more parting over there. And forever I will be with the one who died for me. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand, leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. Sing that chorus again. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand, leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day, glorious day that will be. Oh, what a day. What a day, glorious day that will be. Seth, can you get those overhead lights on for me, man? The spotlights. The spotlights. I can't see anybody. The spotlights up top. The bar.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
He's been faithful, church. Sing that line.
All my life you have been faithful.
All my life you have been so, so good.
With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I know you as a father. I've known you as a friend.
you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life, church. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life, church, with my life laid down, I surrender now. Oh, I give you everything. Well, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Sing that, church. Well, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. Oh, I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. In all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Let's sing that chorus one more time. All my life he's been faithful, church. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You may be seated, church.
All of you have your flyer if you came through the door. If you didn't, you can pick one up on the outside. And also activities are also listed on the activity board out front. Do want to say, I'll tell you, there's some great baked goods that have come through that door probably since you've even been in here. So let's support our youth and pull out some cash and go out there and satisfy your sweet tooth today. Also, Ms. Kayberg asked me to announce that, we feed the youth every Sunday. And if you're working or you're just not able to prepare something, she said if you'd like to make a donation, then she and Miss Jo will prepare something. So if you just donate to the cause if you feel led to, okay? That's all we got this morning. Have a blessed day.
If I can get the ushers up to the front, we're going to take this time to take our offering. Let's bow our heads. Lord, thank you for this day. Just bless this offering, anointed. Have your hand over it. Just continue to bless the church and the giving and the love that we have for each other. Just continue to watch over us in all that we do in your name. Amen. Once the ushers are done passing their plates, if y'all will stand and worship with us again. I'll never be more loved than I am right now. Wasn't holding you up, so there's nothing I can do to let you down. It doesn't take a trophy to make you proud. I'll never be more loved than I am right now. Going through a storm, but I won't go down. I hear your voice carried in the rhythm of the wind to call me out. You were crossing ocean, so I wouldn't drown. You've never been closer than you are right now. 'Cause you are Jireh. You are enough, oh Jireh, you are enough, and I will be content in every circumstance. Jireh, you are enough, you're more than enough, always enough. Forever enough, always enough, more than enough. I don't want to forget how I feel right now. On the mountaintops, I can see so clear what it's all about. Stay by my side when the sun goes down. Don't want to forget how I feel right now. 'Cause you are Jireh, you are enough. Oh, Jireh, you are enough. Oh, I will be content in every circumstance. Jireh, you are enough, forever enough, always enough, more than enough. He's forever enough, always enough, more than enough.
I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken. I'm already loved more than I could imagine.
That's it, now, church. That is enough. I'm already loved, church. I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken. Said I'm already loved more than I can imagine. And that is enough. Oh, that is enough. 'Cause you are Jireh, you are enough. Oh, Jireh, you are enough, and I will be content in every circumstance. Jireh, you are enough. You're forever enough, always enough, more than enough. You're forever enough, always enough, more than enough. Sing that, church. He's forever enough, always enough, more than enough. Forever enough, always enough,
than enough.
Light of the world, you step down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see beauty that made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. So here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. O King of all days, oh so highly exalted, glorious in heaven above. Humbly he came, church. Humbly you came to the earth you created. All full of sin became poor. So here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross. And I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross.
I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross. I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross. So here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. And I'll never know, and I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross. I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross. Who's here to worship today, church? Sing that line. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. You may be seated, church.
Praise. Amen. Good morning, church. Hope everybody's doing well today. We appreciate you being here, and all of you who are watching online, we welcome you and ask you to join us just from wherever you are, and let wherever you may be your seat in church today. We're glad to have you. We're starting a campaign here soon called Back to School, Back to Church, right? Vacations are over. People have been vacationing, and a lot of people now are trying to get in those last-minute vacations, but soon school will be back in, and so we want people not only back in school, but back in church. So we're glad that you're here, and we want you to help us go out and get those folks that have not been here and invite them back. Bring somebody with you. Bring somebody who is not a church member with you. Bring a neighbor and bring a friend. If you have your Bibles today, we're going to read out of the 139th Psalm, Psalm 139. The message today, I'm really excited about sharing this with you because I think this message has a lot of potential. I think it has potential to help save relationships, friendships, marriages, all types of relationships, if we will apply it. That's the one key in it. This doesn't work unless we apply it. But even relationships who maybe have already been broken, marriages that have already been broken, friendships that have already been broken, I still think this has the potential to help repair those. So I'm kind of excited about it. Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24. The psalmist says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life." So I titled the message this morning, "Search My Heart." Search my heart. Has anything ever happened in your life that was so traumatic, so devastating, so disturbing that it actually perhaps caused you to begin to question God? Now, let me explain to you what I mean when I say question God, because that gets a little bit confusing. There's a right way to question God and a wrong way. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, I know we're not supposed to question God. I know we're not supposed to ask God why. And I think, really? Why not? Who told you that? Certainly not God. In fact, the Bible tells us, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all men liberally and doesn't hold back. In another place, he says, you have not because you ask not. In another place, he said, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. You guys are good. Y'all are about 1,000 today. In another place, he says, they have a zeal for God, but not according to... I bragged on you too soon. They have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. They're shouting and jumping, but they don't have knowledge. So not only do I believe it's okay to ask God questions, I believe it pleases the Lord when we inquire of Him. I've discovered that one way I acquire knowledge is to ask the teacher questions, right? It's okay to ask God questions. So that's not the kind of question, God, that I'm talking about. What I mean by questioning God in a negative way or a harmful way is when we begin to question God's love for us, God's plan for us, God's faithfulness to us. When we begin to question whether or not, God, do you even have my best interest at hand? Do you even really care about me, about what's going on in my life? Is God really for me? I know the Bible says if God be for you, who can be against you? But is God really for me? That's my question. How could a God who loves me allow this to keep happening to me? That's the kind of question I'm talking about. Years ago, someone shared a story with me about a man who was out cutting his grass, and his children were playing in the yard, and a baseball went up under the house, and so one of the children went up under the house to get it. And when he got there, he got into a nest of copperhead snakes. And he got bit, and he began to scream. His father couldn't hear him screaming. His brother did, so his brother went in to see what was going on, and he got bit. And he started screaming. This time the father was a little closer, and he heard the other son screaming, so he went down to see what was going on. He could see what was going on, and he grabbed his boys, and he pulled them out from under the house, and he picked them up and went and put them in the car, and he jumped in the car, cranked it up, put it in reverse, and backed out over his little daughter who was behind the car and killed her. And while he was trying to get her freed from under the car, the two boys in the car died. You think you've had a bad day? I can understand how this man could begin to question God's love for him or God's plan for him. I don't know that he did. I don't know. I don't know the rest of the story. But I could understand, I think, how he possibly could. I could see how Job could begin to question God's love for him or God's plan for him when he lost his health, his wealth, and all of his family in one day. But the Bible tells us that in all of this, Job sinned not nor charged God foolishly. Bad things happen to good people. Has anything ever happened in your life that made you begin to question God's love for you or his plan for you? See, this is what the enemy wants you to do. Ever since the beginning of time, he told Eve in the garden, God had said, in the day you eat of that tree, you shall surely die. And Satan said, you're not going to die. God knows that when you eat of that, you're going to be smart as he is. He just wants to keep you down. That's all that he wants to do. He doesn't want you to be wise like him. If he did, then he would let you eat of all the fruit. And so he places these little seeds of doubt in our mind. Maybe he's right. Maybe God is just trying to punish me. Maybe God is just trying to hold me back. Maybe God is, this is punishment from God. But I love what the psalmist, how he takes this. He doesn't buy into this. So let's back up, and I want to read a little bit out of this chapter here. Psalm 139, beginning with verse 1, he says, O Lord, you have examined my heart, and you know everything about me. You know when I sit down or stand up. You know my thoughts even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel and when I rest at home. You know everything I do. You know what I'm going to say even before I say it, Lord. You go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too great for me to understand. I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go up into heaven, you're there. If I go down to the grave, you are there. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest ocean, even there your hand will guide me, and your strength will support me. I could ask the darkness to hide me and the light around me to become night, but even in darkness I cannot hide from you. To you, the night shines as bright as day. Darkness and light are the same to you. You made all the delicate inner parts of my body, and you knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, as I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They cannot be numbered. I can't even count them. They outnumber the grains of sand. When I wake up, you are still with me. So, the psalmist says, I know you, God. I know you. I know your heart. I may not always understand what you're doing, but I know you. I may not always understand what's happening in my life, but I know you, and I trust you. You knew me before I was even born. I may question your methods sometimes, but I don't ever have to question your heart and your love. And I love that. The devil hates that, but I love that. And now, I like how David sort of turns this around here. Look at verse 19. He says, "Oh God, if only you would destroy the wicked. Get out of my life, you murderers. They blaspheme you, Lord. Your enemies misuse your name. Oh Lord, shouldn't I hate those who hate you? Shouldn't I despise those who oppose you? Yeah, I hate them. I hate them with total hatred. For your enemies are my enemies." And I love this because David is a little bit in a corner. He's going through saying how much I love you, how much I trust you, Lord, how much I know you. And then he gets down to this deal with enemies. And it's like David is trying to decide if he's right or if he's wrong. I know I shouldn't hate, Lord, but yeah, I kind of hate them because they're your enemies. They're blaspheming your name. And if they're your enemies, then yeah, they're mine. Yeah, I hate them. I hate them. So he just kind of, he goes this back and forth, back and forth. He thinks he's right, but he's not exactly sure. There's a movie, it's kind of an old movie now called Stepmom. Y'all remember that? Susan Sarandon, Julia Roberts. Susan Sarandon's the divorced wife and the mother of these two children. Julia Roberts is the stepmom now that's moved in with the children's dad. And Susan Sarandon has, issues, jealousy issues, because the kids kind of like the new stepmom. She's a little younger and she's cool, and they kind of like her. And so the mom takes every opportunity to sort of take jabs at her and say things about her. So one day they're riding their bikes, the mom and the daughter. And the mom is saying things about the stepmom. And this is probably the saddest line in the whole movie, is the little girl says, "Mom, I'll hate her if you want me to." How sad is that? How sad is it when children get caught up in that stuff? I'll hate her I don't hate her, but I'll hate her if you want me to. It's really sad. Our methods, our heart. The Bible calls David a man after God's own heart. David says, "Search my heart, O God. Know my thoughts. See if there be any way." Because, Lord, I'm not sure about my methods here. I'm not sure if I should be hating these people, but I kind of think I am. And I kind of think I'm right. But if I'm right or if I'm wrong, Lord, you know my heart. Search my heart. And if I'm wrong, show me. Show me, because I want my heart to be right with you. So I love this about David. This is so become my heart cry, Lord, because I know I mess up. I say things that maybe I shouldn't say. Sometimes I do things I shouldn't do. But Lord, search my heart, because I want my heart to be right. Even if my methods are wrong sometimes, even if I miss it, Lord, I want my heart to be right with you. I want you to look at my heart. And I think if this brings me to the point of my message this morning. Everybody say good. Okay. This brings me to the point of my message. I think if we could learn how to practice this, we would all be a lot better off. Now, let me give you an example. And let me emphasize, first of all, this is hypothetical. This is pretend. This did not happen, okay? All right, so, but I want to give you an example. Just suppose my friend Vince is covering my back over here so I don't get a sniper's bullet today. Come here. Yeah, and Ross has got this side, and some out there have the front. Let's give our safe team a hand. You don't even know where they are most of the time. But they're protecting you. They're protecting your vehicles. They're making sure nobody's in the parking lot getting into your vehicles. They're protecting our children on the children's hall, making sure nobody's on that hall that doesn't need to be there. And they're out here protecting you. Our SAFE team stands for Secure and Friendly Environment. That's what SAFE stands for. And so they do a great job. But I want to play, and Vince's mom is here today too. Y'all give her a hand right back here. Looking very pretty. Glad to have Vince's mom with us today. But let's just pretend that after church one Sunday, I walk out into the foyer and Vince is over here talking to a few guys, and I kind of walk by and I hear Vince say, "Whew, that sermon today. Boy, it was a snoozer. I mean, I fell asleep 3 times. A monkey must have written that sermon. I mean, this." And he says that, and is that a nice thing to say about your pastor, about a sermon? No, not really. Could it be true? Possibly, yeah. Would it hurt my feelings to hear that? Probably. Probably would. Could it make me begin to question his love for me or his loyalty to me? Maybe. Except for one thing. If it were not for one thing, and that is, see, I know his heart. I've spent enough time with him. We've sat down and broke bread together way too many times. We've had too many lunches. We've shared intimate details to each other of our hearts. I've counseled him. He's counseled me. He's covered me too many times. He's been there for me way too many times. There's too many things that he's done. You know, for every one thing that he might say that would be kind of off the cuff or might be something that could hurt my feelings, I know there's 100 times that he's covered my back. That he's covered my back. That he's covered. I know that my name is safe in his mouth. See, if you hear him mention my name, it's not going to be in slander. Because I know him and I know his heart. His methods I may not always agree with, and I'm certain my methods he don't always agree with, but we know each other's heart. And that's my point today, church. We need to search each other's heart, not just look at their actions, not just let 20-year friendships all of a sudden be broken up because of what we think somebody may have said and what we think they meant or what somebody told us they did. No, wait a minute. I know their heart. Whether they said it or they didn't, I don't know what context. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure if he said it stunk, the sermon probably stunk. Okay? I'll tell you that. Good. Thank you, brother. Give him a hand. This is the point. He's not going to do anything to purposely embarrass me in any way. So I'm not going to let some off-the-cuff comment that I think I may have heard him say, break a long, long time friendship. That's why the psalmist said, search me, O God. Know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you and leads me along the path of everlasting life. How many friendships, how many relationships could be salvaged if we, instead of judging everything by an incident or a statement or a situation, if we would stop and say, wait a minute, I know their heart. I may not know what they meant by that. I may not really understand why they did what they did or why they said what they said, but I know their heart, and their heart is not to hurt me. See, when you do that, you just beat the devil like a dog. You just beat the devil like a dog. You expose him for who he is because, see, the Bible says that he is the accuser of the brethren. That's what he does. He accuses people, and he starts little things. He causes church splits. He causes separations in marriages. He causes friendships to be broken and shattered because he works by divide and conquer. So he will get in the best church and try to split it, the best marriage and cause problems, the best friendships and try to split them up. He's the accuser of the brethren. And he gets us to focus on what things appear to be rather than looking at the things, looking at the person's heart. You see, here's the thing. Remember this if you forget everything else. Things are not always as they appear to be. He may not even been talking about me in my sermon. He may have been talking, but I heard part of a conversation. And it could have broken our friendship. I said, fine, if that's the way he feels. Things are not always as they appear to be. A man was in an airport one day. He was waiting on his flight. Glad it wasn't yesterday, right? Y'all hear about the big flight problems yesterday? Anyway, he was waiting on his plane. He was a little hungry, so he went and got a pack of cookies. A little six-pack, you know what I'm talking about? Little Nabisco. And he got him pack of cookies, and he went and he sat down. He got him a paper. He said, I'm going to be here for an hour, so I'll just read my paper, eat my cookies. And he, sat there and he opened up his paper and started reading, and all of a sudden he hears, and he looks over his paper, and there's a woman sitting across the table, and she has the pack of crackers, or cookies, opening them up, and she takes one out and starts to eat it. He reaches around his paper, grabs the cookies, and pulls them back over. And he gets one, and he puts it in his mouth, and he goes back to reading his paper. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, he sees a hand grab those cookies and pull it back over. He pulls it down. She's eating a second cookie. He reaches back over, and he pulls it down. And he gets another one and puts it in his mouth. This time, as soon as he does, he sees the hand reach over, grab the cookies. He looks. The woman stands up and walks down the corridor. And he said, I can't believe this. He stands up, puts his paper down, puts his hand on his hips, and feels in his pocket an unopened pack of cookies. She hadn't been eating his cookies. He had been eating her cookies. Things are not always as they appear. How many have ever been there? We were so sure we were right, only to find out, oops, I was wrong. They were right. How many relationships have been broken? How many marriages have been destroyed? How many people are out of church today because somebody did something or said something and we looked at what we thought they did, or we listened to what we thought they said, and instead of looking at their heart and knowing their heart and recognizing the enemy, we let it destroy us. We let it destroy us. Let me give you one more scripture before we finish up here. It's in Numbers chapter 22. I love this story. Numbers chapter 22. Verse number 21, it says, "So the next morning, Balaam got up, saddled his donkey, and started off with the Moabite officials. But God was angry that Balaam was going. So he sent an angel of the Lord to stand in the road and block his way. As Balaam and the two servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. The donkey saw it. Balaam didn't. The donkey bolted off the road and into a field. So Balaam gets off and he beats the donkey and turns him back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood at a place where the road narrowed between two vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tried to squeeze by and it crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Remember, Balaam hasn't seen the angel, but the donkey has. Then the angel of the Lord moved further down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. This time, when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down under Balaam, and in a fit of rage, Balaam beat the animal again with his staff. Then the Lord, here's the great part, then the Lord gave the donkey the ability to speak. Listen to what he said. I'm telling you, if you're only going to speak once, these are great words of wisdom. What have I done to you that deserves you beating me 3 times? It asked Balaam. Balaam said, "You made me look like a fool," Balaam shouted. "If I had a sword with me, I would kill you." Here it is. "But I am the same donkey you have ridden all your life," the donkey answered. "Have I ever done anything like this to you before? You ought to know my heart. You have ridden me. I'm the only donkey you've ever ridden. I've carried you for miles. I've went when I was so tired, I have carried you on my back. I've watched out for you. I've taken care of you. And now, what you don't know is I'm trying to save your life, and you're beating me for it. Have I ever done anything? If I'm doing this, there's a reason I'm doing it, even though you don't know it." And Balaam admitted, "No, you haven't." Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the roadway with a drawn sword in his hand. Balaam bowed his